Ms. Lualhati Santiago will tell us about the results of the analysis of the Sustainable Work Initiative for a Healthier Tomorrow, of the program of the University of Department of Economics.
Hello. Okay, hello. So I'm not sure what they said, but I think they said I should be very quick, so I'll try to do it in 5 minutes. Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for having me here and for inviting Iris and me to present our project. The project I'm going to present is a measurement of the impact that a housing program in Madrid is having on the Roma with which it's working. And before starting to present you the project, I just want to thank the Decade Trust Fund and the Open Society Foundations, because this project would have never been here without them, and I'm going to try to show you how important we think that this is for, not just for the study of this particular program, but in general for the Roma. And okay, so all right, so as I'm saying, what we're going to do here is we're measuring a housing program that the objective of this program is to rehouse Roma people in Madrid from slum settlements into the city of Madrid. By measuring this program, we are actually trying to do two different things. On the one hand, we're seeing the impact of this particular housing program that has been presented as a good practice example. On the other hand, we're trying to answer to an even bigger question, which is how would the life of Roma people change if instead of living in slums, they were given the opportunity to live in the cities like with everybody else? So all of these pictures are from Madrid. On the left we have the slums, and on the right we have the houses in which they are rehoused by the program of IRIS. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to motivate this project a little bit, then I'm going to present to you the program of IRIS, and then I'm going to present you some results of the impact evaluation that we are conducting. The impact evaluation is still in process, so this is going to allow me to be quick. Okay, so as I said, what we want to do is we want to talk about the Roma poverty trap. As you all know, there's many reasons why the Roma are trapped in poverty, finance, education, and one of these many different issues, all of them interconnected, is the fact that they live in slums. So what we want to do is isolate the impact of the slums and see what would happen if they didn't live in slums. Okay, so we are focusing especially, so we're gathering data on all the Roma population that IRIS is rehousing, on a big sample of them, but we've made a special focus on the children, because we know that changing is very difficult, and we hope, well, our hypothesis was that we were going to observe changes, not in the parents, but in the second generations. So that's what we're getting many measurement of outcomes for the children. Okay, so the context, just very briefly, IRIS is an institution from the community of Madrid, the region of Madrid, which was founded in 1998. Before IRIS, there was another organization in Madrid that had the same role, to rehouse the Roma from settlements into the city of Madrid. But the problem about that previous organization is that it was based on residential segregation, so they were constructing ghettos. So this was a mistake that was seen in Madrid and in many other countries in the world, that ghettoization is no good. And so when IRIS was founded, they decided that that was one of the things they were going to target. So there's two objectives of IRIS. One is to guarantee the segregation, and the second one is that they realized that housing alone doesn't work, that we need something more. We need to make the Roma participate in their social inclusion project, and we need social support together with the housing. So this is what IRIS does. Okay, so I'm going to very briefly talk about first their housing program and then the social program which goes together with it. Okay, so as I was just saying, in the creation of IRIS, what they said is that individuals living in slum dwellings do not just lack adequate housing, but they also develop other dimensions of social exclusion. So as I was saying, we want to see what happens if they stop living in slums, and this is what we're measuring. Okay, so as I was saying, the objective is social inclusion of the Roma, and IRIS uses two different instruments, a housing scheme and a social scheme. So about the housing scheme, it has two components. We can say there's two items that characterize it. One is the two goals are normalized housing and using housing as an instrument for integration. Okay, so how is this done? Okay, so the way in which IRIS is using housing as an instrument for integration is by, instead of buying entire buildings, what they do is that they rent flats all across the city of Madrid. So they buy flats so that they're spread all around the region. And in this way, they guarantee that there is no segregation. And they have a policy that only one Roma family is rehoused per building, and then there's quotas for every municipality in Madrid. Okay, so I think I can skip that. So as I said, it's a very low monthly rent program. The houses are given to the Roma for their entire life. They cannot buy them, but they can keep renting them at that subsidized rent forever, and it can be inherited by their children. Okay, so here, this is just a map of, on the right, the community of Madrid, and on the left, the city of Madrid. And I just put in colors the amount of Roma that are rehoused in every part of the map. So as you can see, they do rehouse the families in many different regions, which, as I said, ensures that there is a segregation. Okay. So just briefly, I want to mention the second instrument of IRIS, which is the social scheme. So the idea is that they don't only work with the Roma families once they are rehoused, but they also do it before. So IRIS intervenes first in the slums, then they accompany the families when they move to their new homes, and then they keep working with them for at least 3 years. And according to IRIS, this is a very important component of their program that is giving them success. Okay, so what I want to do now is talk a little bit about the project that we're doing. So as I said, what we're doing is collecting data to try to measure the impact that living in the slums has. So this is the question we're trying to address with this study. How would the life of a person change if they were living in a different environment? So this is the methodology that is behind this study. So the reason why we can do this study is this graph that I'm showing you here, and I think that it's also an interesting graph because it shows the amount of families that have been rehoused by this program since 1999, when it started. So as you can see, from 1,600 Roma in slums in 1999, we have gone down to around 400 families. Okay, so as I was saying, the fact that families have been rehoused little by little every year is what is allowing us to use a particular methodology to study the impact of living in the slums. Okay, so we've been working on this project for around 2 years, and we've been collecting data from many different sources, but the key source for us is the survey that we've been conducting thanks to the decade. Okay, we're measuring, we made a very short survey. Okay, I'm running out of time. So we've measured many outcomes, and I just want to give you, so education, labor, marriage, fertility, integration. We're analyzing that data, but I just want to leave you with one graph that I think is very nice. So if we prove that this is right, the intuition we see behind here is very interesting. So what is this? I'm showing you here, so you look at on the graph of the right, what I'm showing you is female girls in our program between the years 21 and 24 now. And what we have in these columns is the age at which they dropped out of school. So just looking at the graph on the right, number 1 corresponds to girls that weren't born in slums. Number 2 corresponds to girls that lived in the slums from 0 to 5 years of their life. So they left by the age 5. And number 3 corresponds to all the girls that lived in the slum at least until 5 years old. And I think the result we can see from this graph is very, very interesting, because we see that the girls that never lived in the slum stayed at school for at least 17 years old, whereas the girls that were in the slum for much longer than 5 years, they didn't even stay in school at the age of 15. So, well, the other graph is just a more detailed explanation of this one, but yeah, I think I can summarize with this what I wanted to say. And thank you very much.